everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday morning for coffee and a chat about stitching. It's been 2 weeks since I've been here. I had totally planned on filming last weekend, and well, I'll tell you all about what came up, but something came up and it's very exciting and I'm excited to share it with you. I have freshly dyed hair. I was going to cut my bangs, but I didn't have the chance. So they are very long bangs. And I found my filming glasses, so there'll be like less glare on my eyes. So that's exciting. I got a new lipstick color, a new lip stain color, and I got new eye makeup. I'm like a new person. Give me 2 weeks and a spring break. I'm a totally different person. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I have some fun things happening. I have a little bit of stitching. I think this will probably be a short one. I've not had a lot of time for stitching. I have designed 2 patterns though, which is very exciting. And I have a new start that I can show you actually. I have a new start and I have, there's a giveaway. There is a giveaway. And I have an exciting announcement. But before we get to any of that, welcome to my new subscribers. I've had a little uptick lately. Thank you so much for joining me on my crafty and artistic adventures. And welcome back to everyone who's been hanging out with me for however long you've been with me. It's been fantastic to get to know you in the comments here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And I'm so sorry that I've been so bad about responding to comments on YouTube. I don't have an excuse for it. I'm really going to try and address that today and tomorrow and work on that, because I do really appreciate, I read all of your comments. I really do. As soon as they come in, I read them. And then I'm like, I need to get back to that and respond. And then I don't. And I feel like a shitty person. So I'm really sorry. And I do appreciate them. And I appreciate you all so much. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you what this community means to me. Anyway, it's been great to get to know you in the comments on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me personally in 2 places. That's Dr_Christy, which I'll put, I feel like it's here. I can never remember where it is. I think it's in the middle. Dr_Christy's in the middle. And then also at the Spoolery, which I haven't posted in like a year, which is right here. But there's a new Instagram, which I will talk about later. So keep an eye out for that in this conversation, because cool things are happening. This is the channel about embroidery and cross stitch, other textile crafts, and history and the history of all those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you're not subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe and stick around. First of all, I just released my March Patreon chart, and this is what it's going to look like. And I also had a whole historical post on sainthood and like how you become a saint. Not about St. Patrick in particular, although I did link to information about St. Patrick. But, for St. Patty's Day, that was 2 days ago. So it's the 19th. But I focused on like how you become a saint, like what a saint is, that kind of stuff, because I think that there's a lot of question about how people become saints, and the way people have become saints has changed over time. So if you're not a patron and you want to support my historical work and also my stitching work, head over there. The link is in the description box down below. Basically, I have 4 tiers, I think, from $3 to $15 a month. All of them get you a monthly vlog. Most of them get you historical content twice a month. So either a blog post or a video or a primary source or something like that. And it's mostly about my own kind of research. So it's medieval Europe, but also early modern Europe, and then other places as well. I posted a video about a Chinese empress a couple weeks ago, last month. Some tiers get a monthly historically themed pattern, which is what this is. And then the highest tier, you get Happy Mail once a month as well, which is historically themed. And this year, I am sending out note cards and stickers based on the historical calendar, Grimani Breviary, which is a religious text, but it also has really amazing images of the months of the year. And so this was February's last month, which was also my Christmas card that I sent out last year. So, it's all coming from that. So we're going to do the whole series this year with some little extras for folks who hang out with me for the whole time. Anyway, so that's my Patreon. And if you're interested in stitching my Patreon patterns or just learning about historical content that I'm interested in, that would be awesome. And I thank my patrons for supporting me, because without them, doing this would be much harder for me to justify. So I appreciate it. Okie dokie. So let's do stitching. I have not had much time for stitching, shockingly. I've been running around with my head like a chicken with its head cut off, but very little stitching. Or I guess that's not true, because I have a focus. I've been focused on one piece. I am model stitching the second in the Medieval Marginalia series. And I'm not going to show you the pattern, but I will show you what I've done. And I'm at about 36 or 37%. And this is what it looks like. And you may be thinking, those look like legs. Yes, yes, they do. This, however, is not a penis joke like the last one. This one is a fart joke. So you can look forward to a fart joke. It's a classy fart joke. A classy fart joke because medieval people thought farts were funny too. And this is being stitched on the Overcast 36 count Cedar River linen and design by Jody over Trixie Tricycle. And it's the same fabric that I'm stitching this on in the other corner, which is the base of my Nuns Harvesting Phalluses tree, which is the first in the Medieval Marginalia series, and this is what it's going to look like. So I'm doing them both on the same fabric. I really am enjoying stitching on this fabric, and I do think that I'll be able to get, I might be able to get 2 more patterns on this. This is a fat quarter, but I'm not sure. So this is what I have. I don't know if you can see. This is what I have on this fabric. And this is like 2,500 stitches. So my Medieval Marginalia patterns will basically all be between 7,000 and 8,000-ish stitches, I think, is kind of where they're going to go. And this, did I say a 36 count overcast? I think I did. Linen. So that's what that's on. And this has been my focus piece for definitely the past week, probably the week before as well. I've just been really focusing on it. And I'm stitching it in all the called for DMC, which are, so my Medieval Marginalia patterns will all have a very similar palette. I've added 2 more colors because there's blues involved. So I have 2 blues here. And then I also might include a gold because there's this particular one is gilded in several ways. I'll show you. Why don't I just show you since I have it? Sorry, I'm way out of practice. So these little like circle-y things here and this part right here, that is in the manuscript gilded, which means that it has gold leaf affixed to it. And there are other ones throughout that I think this might also have, this right here might also have gold leaf on it. And so I charted it in DMC in 422 with some ecru like shine marks, right? So it looks like it's like shining. But I kind of would rather do it in gold, even though DMC Light Effects is the devil. So I have to decide, because what I might do is like stitch it in DMC Light Effects and use that as the model and chart it in DMC Light Effects and then give the option of this 422. So I'm not quite sure what to do. What do you recommend? So if you were to get a pattern and the model was stitched with a gold floss in it, you would then expect that gold floss to be charted, correct? I'm correct in this, right? And what I might do is just include like both patterns and you can do it either way. Would that be weird? Because not everyone wants to stitch with this. Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is that weird to have, okay, let me rephrase the question. If I stitch it in gold, do you expect the gold to be charted in the chart? That's my first question. Number 2, is it weird to have 2 chart options, one with the gold and one in regular DMC? What is your What are your thoughts on those 2 questions? Because I really want it to be gold. If this weren't a model, I would probably actually use gold leaf and, you know, like make it like a mixed media thing. This feels really, I just threw it in the bag. This feels really cool. Like, that's why I keep rubbing it on my face. God, I'm so weird. I'm so weird and I'm so out of practice. So what are your thoughts and those questions? Anyway, but that's where I am. And that's really what I've been working on the past 2 weeks. I don't get a ton of stitching time because I have no chill. So I'm pretty pleased that this is nearing completion at 36%. That's that. And it's a really nice stitch though, because it's not, there's like nice color changes, but it doesn't have a lot of confetti. So I feel like it fits in that nice little niche of being interesting, but not frustrating. And it's full coverage where there's coverage, but the background isn't stitched because it's supposed to look like it's on a manuscript. And so I got this overcast, which looks manuscripty, which is essentially the exact same color as ecru. So the ecru blends in, which is what I want, because the like medieval people just sort of outlined and used the color of the vellum for skin, since it's skin anyway. So it works. And it's just in this bag because I have hundreds of yards of fabric to make project bags. And I haven't, so I'm using a plastic bag. The other pattern that I worked on a little bit, I'm still not caught up, is my temperature birds. This is what my temperature birds will look like in the end. They're being stitched on 32 count Lugana April Showers by Bee Stitch Me. And here is where I am. So I'm in like mid-April. God, I'm not in any of those. I'm in mid-February. Now, we are currently in a cold snap in mid-March, which is wild to me. So March is going to look super chaotic. I thought that usually February is our like month when the weather can't figure out what it wants to do. No. February and March. Thanks, climate change. So we're in the middle, like I said, of a cold snap. And in fact, we had a frost warning last night. We had to turn our taps on so that our pipes wouldn't freeze in the middle of March. You know, March is like late spring for us. Like spring for us starts at the end of February. So I guess it's mid-spring, but it's like solidly spring. And we already aren't supposed to get super low temperatures like that. I did not move to Mississippi to be cold. I just didn't. So anyway, that's my temperature birds. It's being stitched on the called for DMC. God, everything about this is chaos. And I'm sorry I'm so bad at floss tubing these days. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you have to put up with this. I think my medieval marginalia model stitch was a new start. So my second pattern that I designed, the Patreon pattern, and then I designed a Earth Day collaboration pattern. So if you remember, cast your mind back to 2 weeks ago, which feels like a very long time ago. My friend Christy at Pixel Pixie X Stitch or Cross Stitch, I don't remember which one. I'll put her Instagram here and I'll link her Flosstube down below. We decided to start a designer community to share ideas and collaborate and, you know, share knowledge and lift each other up and amplify each other and stuff like that. So when last I talked to you, we were expecting it to be, I don't know, 10 or maybe 20 designers who could sort of collaborate and it would just be really great. We're now at like 65 designers and it's become a thing. So this designers collaboration on Discord has exploded in a way that we weren't expecting. And that's why that's where a lot of my time went this past week, is sort of organizing it. Because when you have a group of 15 people, you know everybody, you know that everyone will behave well, you know that it's a safe place. When you get in the 60s, you may not know everybody. and you have to make rules and stuff like that. So this week, Christy and I, and also Dara from World on a String, who I mentioned last time, she's the one who told me about putting the picture behind the grid on WinStitch. Anyway, we're the 3 mods for this group. So we are now called the Stitchers Collective. We have a logo. We have a website. Well, we have a domain name that links to Christy's shop website at the moment. And who knows where we'll be in the future. But at the moment, we have a domain name that links to Christy's website. We have an Instagram, and it is at the Stitchers Collective. So if you want to see lots of cross-stitching by lots of different designers that you may not have heard of, go over there and follow. I'm really trying to stay really active on that and post and repost as many people as possible. So we are active on the grid a couple times a day. We usually post like 1 reel a day maybe, but our stories are just constantly reposting all sorts of different designers. So please, please, please check out the Stitchers Collective on Instagram. And I'll link to the website down below. So the first collaboration to come out of the Stitchers Collective is an Earth Day charity chart collaboration. So that is the second design that I designed this week. The second chart I designed this week for Earth Day. Now, I'm not going to show you the chart. This will come out on April 15th. So I have to, get busy stitching. So, but what I need help on is fabric choice. I don't have time to buy fabric. And my Michaels only has white fabric or 14 count fabric. And I didn't really want to stitch this in a 14 count fabric, although I don't know why. I think it'll just be huge. So I found this fabric in my stash, and this is Fangirl Fiber 16 count sea glass, which I think will be like just big enough. And it's a little greener than it's showing up. So we have that. And the other one I wish wasn't so mottled. And I wish it wasn't so green. I wish it was bluer. It's Mystic Fabrics Mother Nature. Because I wanted to make sure that I got a fabric that other people could buy if they wanted to like reproduce this look. And this is beautiful. But I wonder if it's too, come on. I wonder if it's too green. And I feel like it's showing up a little bit bluer. I do really like this one. I keep going back and forth. I know it's hard to see. Let me post the picture. So here's a picture with the sea glass. And here's a picture that is bluer than it is. So it's actually a greener fabric. Here it is with the Mother Nature. And I feel like the Mother Nature is called Mother Nature for an Earth Day collab. Everything else I think will be beautiful. These two feel like the problem. But I don't feel like that they'll pop. But looking at them on it, just them, I'm okay with. Because this is the text and it's like in the middle, and that is pretty obvious. Anyway, I think I'm making my decision because I don't know. I think I'm probably going to go with this. Friends, let's see what the other side looks like. Because sometimes one side is like more starkly modeled than the other side. I don't know. I'll have to decide. But I just, like, I like the sea glass, but it just feels very light to me. It just feels very light. And I definitely wanted something deeper colored. This may be it. All right. I think I may have decided. Thank you all for your help and for listening to me. I really appreciate it. I'm cutting some of that hemming and hawing out, I think. Although maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when I do it. Part of my issue that I have is that I need a big piece. And I am kind of afraid that the sea glass won't quite be big enough. This definitely will be. I could use half of this and it'll be big enough. And I don't have a project bag for this project. But I do need to start it soon because I need to like have it finished and sent in by I think the 7th of April. So there we go. There's my project bag. All right, that's my new start coming up. Let's talk giveaways. As many of you know, there are 20-ish outstanding giveaways that I have to mail out. I kept meaning to send out my Flossmas giveaways, and they just never happened. They have been packed up. They are packed and ready for mailing. And you know how sometimes you put something off and then you do it and it takes like 10 minutes? This was not that thing. This took me 4 hours to get it all organized. But it's done. It's done. They are packed up in a bag. Here's a picture of the bag. They're packed up and with no addresses, so don't worry about that. But here's a picture of the bag. So the plan is there are some US and some international. The US ones I'm sending out tomorrow because they can just go out. The international ones, I have to fill out customs forms. So I'm going to get the customs forms from the post office tomorrow when I drop off my first batch and get those sent out throughout the week. But the hardest part is getting them packed up. That's the hardest part. So there are 2 that were unclaimed or that I never got your information. The first one is Sally Ann Cole. Sally Ann, I just need you to contact me. You won a tree. Just shoot me a message on Instagram and give me your address so I can send this out to you. I don't keep addresses as a rule. So even if I've sent you things before or you've sent me things before, I don't keep addresses. I just feel like that's too much pressure for privacy purposes. I don't want to keep people's addresses. The second one who won a spool ornament is the Divine Femme. So if Sally Ann and the Divine Femme, if you can contact me on Instagram at Dr._Christy and give me your addresses, I will get those packed up and mailed out also. And hopefully it will take less than 2.5 months to do that. But that and that's kind of another reason why I didn't film last week, because I was just so embarrassed that I still didn't have any news about those giveaways. So I'm sorry that I'm crap at mailing things out. I really am. I recognize I'm crap at mailing things out. It's genetic. My mom is also crap at mailing things out. So blame my genes. Blame my mom. But I am very good about digital giveaways, and my giveaways for this week are digital. So as part of this Stitchers Collective, I've been in touch with a lot of different designers, which has been really cool. One of them is Roz Clark. And Roz Clark Crafts designed the adorable cat snails that were kind of going around YouTube a few months ago. And in fact, people really liking her patterns is what got me thinking that maybe people would like my naughty medieval marginalia patterns. So, she's kind of the catalyst for the penis tree and the upcoming fart joke. She was kind enough to send me her 2 medieval patterns because, she knows I'm a medievalist. And she said, if you want to do a giveaway, I'd love for you to give copies away. And I'm like, heck yeah, I want to give out medieval menagerie cross-stitch patterns because I think everyone should be stitching medieval patterns. Just, it should be law. I don't remember who said that you should always have a red work sampler on the go. You should always have a medieval inspired design on the go. I just made that rule. I'm not wrong. So her 2 medieval menagerie charts are cat snails, which looks like this, and elephantine, which looks like this. And medieval people doing elephants, hilarious. Like they had no idea. Like they would never have seen one. They had no idea. So this is her elephantine medieval menagerie. And I do want you to know that I practiced medieval menagerie multiple times before I was able to say it correctly. I don't know why I had an issue with that. So anyway, if you would like to win a PDF copy of Cat Snails, please put shell in the comments down below. And if you would like to win a copy of Elephantine, please put trunk in the comments down below. Now you must be 18 so I can get your email address. Please be a subscriber. Please like the video and do the comment. Please don't say things like win and giveaway and whatever, because apparently there have been sort of trolls around telling people they've won things. So I don't comment on your comment. Yeah, all the normal like Flosstube giveaway rules apply. And I do intend, I'm going to sneeze. I do intend to film a Flosstube next week. That is my intention. Whether it happens or not, you never know. But that is my intention. And I will do the drawing using the YouTube random comment picker before that video. My heat just kicked in because it's like 36 degrees outside at noon or 11 or whatever time it is. Ridiculous. I did not sign up for this. I have completely forgotten how to do a Flosstube. I hope you will forgive me. So yeah, so if you want to win those two patterns, please comment down below, shell and trunk, because I want you to be able to like talk about cat snails and elephants without winning, without like entering if you don't want to win. So I was trying to make it something connected but not like the same. So I will also link Roz Clark Crafts Etsy shop down below. So if you don't win, you can buy these. And she has other ones too, which are super cute. So you should definitely check her out. And check her out on Instagram. I bought a couple things that you might be interested in. Not a lot. I bought some more bobbin lace bobbins. And these are cool because, so they're wooden, but they have a hole for spangles. So I can make my own spangles. And I can make my own spangles. And in fact, when I go see my mom, I may steal some of her beads that she made and put them on spangles. So I bought that. I bought some spools. They were like silk spools and they were super cheap. I bought spools. They came in a tin, but they're really pretty. So these are what I bought, but I got them because of, let me see if I can find it. These Corticelli spools have a tiny cat face on them. Oh my goodness. So there are several of these. They're multicolored and have a cat face. And then this one here just has, is not multicolored, but just has like an adorable little cat face on it. Because, okay, so those of you who are new, I kind of became obsessed with this old silk thread company called Corticelli. I have a whole video about it that I'll post up here because a friend of mine sent me their like embroidery book from 1899. I'm obsessed. And so I bought spools. Like I was buying like sewing, like antique sewing kits and antique spools, and I love vintage wooden spools. And that's where the spoolery comes from. And that's, you know, I have a lot of spools and I make things out of them and I try to sell them. Well, I really am not trying very hard to sell them. I mostly just make things and then hoard the things that I make, expecting to sell them at like a craft fair. I have done a couple craft shows and I've really enjoyed them. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So yeah, so I got super excited about this brand of spools. And then I kind of got into vintage sewing paraphernalia in general. I really like vintage sewing and stitching paraphernalia. And the Corticelli company used a cat as their mascot, saying that it was so strong that like a cat couldn't tear it. And so a lot of their advertising was a cat all wrapped up in their thread, but it wasn't like torn. Anyway, the cat spools are actually quite rare. So I got this whole box for like the 8 or so cat spools in there. And the way I see it is that if at some point I decide I'm not interested, I can always resell them because they are selling. Like I have to bid on them, like, right? They're not, I have to like swoop in and bid on them. They're not just being left on the shelf there. The other thing that I did not work on at all is my craft room. It's usable. but it is not ready yet. And I really hope to finish it during spring break, but it was really important to me that the Citrus Collective Discord get set up well and be safe. So, if you want to join the Citrus Collective, please go to our Instagram and send us a message. It's for designers only, and you don't have to be a massive designer, but you have to be actively designing, because we're sharing tips and tricks about marketing and programs and, you know, stuff like that, getting into magazines and boxes and things like that. So if you're interested in being a part of this group, please send us a message and we'll send you an invitation to the Discord. And if you just want to see what we're doing, go follow us on Instagram. That would be really awesome. We're really excited about this project and how much it resonated with people. We really believe in collaboration over competition and community over competition, and I love it. Well, friends, I think that that's it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that it was nice to see me. It was nice to talk to you. I know that. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing me, hanging out with me. Yeah, things are going well. They're just busy. And I'm back at work tomorrow, so I have to do grading today and lesson planning and stuff like that. And I have models to stitch. I have 2 models to stitch. So hopefully those will be pretty quick. That's what I am going to be working on for the next 2 weeks. I haven't touched my HAED. I just don't have the motivation to do it. It's just so much work and not much coming out of it. But I have to get back into it, so I need to focus on that. I think once these models are stitched, that's going to be my focus, just to at least get it moving along some more, just so it doesn't languish. All right, that's it from me again. I'll say it again. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. I will hopefully see you next week. If you want to win those 2 charts, don't forget it's shell and trunk. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.